We want to circle back again to developments out of Ukraine. Kieran McQuillan joins us live from Lviv. Kieran, first to reports of Ukrainian forces making gains east of Kyiv. Britain describes that shift in momentum is a shift in the war. Is Ukraine getting the upper hand, at least near the capital?
Yes, the British Ministry of Defence have tweeted that they believe that Ukrainian forces are indeed pushing the Russians out of positions to the northwest of the capital, Kiev, around the airport of Hostomel, which has been the scene of some great fighting in the last couple of days. We have a team on the ground there, actually. They've just returned to Kiev from the village of Yasnogorivka. My apologies if I got the pronunciation of that slightly wrong, but they were telling us that Ukrainian troops have repositioned. They went into this village. The church spire of the village church is badly damaged by artillery. Some of the houses there are also damaged, and they said that they've seen a checkpoint that has been abandoned with the Ukrainian flag still flying over it. So it looks like those positions, that checkpoint and the sandbags around that area have held off the Russian forces. Now they're moving a little bit further into a northwestern corridor, which would be consistent with those reports from Britain's Ministry of Defence.
What more, Kieran, do we know of reports of mass graves in the port city of Mariupol?
Well, it's very, very difficult to get information from Mariupol at the moment, but I'd like to introduce you to Diana Berg. Diana is just recently returned from Mariupol to Lviv. When did you get here, Diana?
Hi, I didn't return. I escaped because I lived there for more than 7 years after the escape from Donetsk. So it's the second time I've escaping my home. I managed to successfly make the suicide mission along with my husband of escaping from Mariupol with our own car. And by the time I thought I was in hell, because not only because of the shelling and bombing all the time around you, not because of that we had no electricity, heating and water, and not because of the lines for the food were so long and it was really scary, but because we had a total informational blockade. It was 8th day of invasion. It was 3 days of blockade. And one of the most horrifying things on top of all this bombing and shelling and shooting all the time was that you are totally blocked from the world. You cannot call anyone. You cannot find out what's happening. You cannot go online and scroll the news. You don't know whether Ukraine is going to come and save, whether we are fighting, or maybe we are already like in hell or what. We didn't know. Tell
me about your story, about how you actually managed to get out of the city and to the relative safety of Lviv.
You know, the situation is so quickly changing every day. It gets worse and worse and worse. That I personally think that my personal story of escape is not relevant anymore, because we just got out through 2 lines of Russians. Yes, it was risky. They pointed the guns at us, but it's nothing comparing to what people left behind are now surviving. What they're doing.
That's a very good point. And talking about people that you've left behind,
exactly.
Tell me about who are you're not able to get in touch with any of your friends or relatives there.
We managed to get in touch with those friends who just escaped Mariupol. Either they walk by feet or they hitchhike. They go jump to the cars of the neighbors to escape. It became possible for the last week, and what they faced back in Mariupol is much worse. It's unimaginable comparing to what I felt, because I felt like hell after 3 days of blockade, but they survived for like 3 weeks of it. So it's just you go down to the basement because airstrikes are all over, and this cold, dark basement with no food, with no water. You are frightened, you are scared, and you have to get warm, you have to go outside and to make fire, and it takes time. And if the more time you spend at the street outside, the more risk to just be killed or injured. So they, under all these bombs and mines, they managed to walk by feet to some nearby village, like 50 or 100 kilometers, and only after that they get to the point where they can somehow call, where the connection appears. And from them we receive the most information. But also, of course, we try to gather it bit by bit, and not all of them, not all of our dear ones have managed to escape. Around 200,000 people are still left there. Most of them are older people or with very small kids, you know, because when it's hard to walk. And of course, those like disabled or ill. So like the most vulnerable people are still there. And it's like the most difficult quest, an adventurous quest of our life, is to coordinate the evacuation from the point where you cannot get, where it's like constantly bombed and surrounded by 15 of Russian checkpoints, and also to find those people with whom you don't have any connection and you don't even know if they're still there or if they're alive, or did they manage to move to another more secure shelter, or they are buried there. So it's like the most crazy thing now for those who are left behind, who are on a safer space, to drag them out.
Look, I really appreciate you coming and speaking to us and sharing your experience. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
That's Diana Berg. Thank you to her, and it's back to you in the studio in Singapore.
Kieran, thank you for that interview with that very stark first-hand account of the situation in Mariupol. Kieran McQuillan in the View.